Join us. Okay, so hello again to all those present. Right now, let me share the screen and we will start with dealing with some interesting task. So, I'd like you to write in the chat the number of the picture with the character that best matches the way you feel today. So in the chat, write please the number of the picture with the character that best matches the way you feel. And be ready to provide some comments. Just put a number. Okay. 3 and 11. Yes, so simultaneously. So, Yulia, could you please give comments?
Yes. So I think I'm number three because my mood is more or less okay. And this picture, it seems to me that it is the funny one as my mood today. And 11 because I am a bit confused with all of tasks which I need to do, with all of deadlines which I have. That's why I'm a bit 11 also.
So whenever we have academic term, yeah, so like we are snowed under with all the tasks so that are set upon us either by administration or, for example, by our teachers. That's why, believe me, both teachers and students feel the same. Yeah, Margarita, number 12. Could you please comment? Because so currently I cannot understand like how you feel.
I don't know who this boy feels. Um, Show me kind of interest in what is going on, and as always, I'm interested in what we are going to talk about today. And I should, I think I should add 11 here because it's very tough day for me, but yeah, kind of like this.
It's a tough week, I believe. Not even the day, but it's a tough week. But because of the
Yeah.
way it started, yeah, I just had a talk with my husband and my relatives and my mom. So and all people claim, all of them, all these relatives and the colleagues of mine even claimed that. So the week started very different from like the way it felt the previous week, and they said that if it was going to last this way, by Friday. Only God knows how all of us would survive. Okay, then number 11, Olena.
First of all, it seems like everything's against me. At least for sometimes I just had iron medication today, so I'm feeling a bit dizzy. Um, I'm really infuriated to hear that some teachers in public school get receiving a teachers in front of others. And just outraged, and I don't know what to do.
So it seems to me that you were somewhere far, far away, so like from your mic, because so I just understood parts and bits of like of what you were saying. Yeah. Okay, so just fix
Mhm.
fix fix the
Yeah,
mic for
sure.
all of us to hear you better. Yeah, thanks a lot. And one more person, so who was willing to share the way she feels, that's Victoria. Sorry, Victoria. So number 9 is for the first time that this number 9 was mentioned. Victoria, could
Yeah,
you?
I chose nine because it's difficult to explain why it's nine, but today and at all this week I feel not so good because I have second wave of sickness that I had before, and something like that picture. For example, today I went to the shop and I wanted to put only my coat and t-shirt and coat on. But my boyfriend said, no, 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 put on all the clothes, warmer. Yeah. And when I put it on, I felt like really, really hot. And like this picture, maybe. Yeah. And at all, this week, all this time, maybe it's period in my life when I live like, why? What? What is it? What is life? Why it is like that, something like that.
Hardly understanding what's going on around. Still, I
Yeah.
will tell you that the good thing about all this you've described is that you definitely have a caring boyfriend. So make him be your
Yeah.
husband. I believe he will be just a reliable man. Yeah, I'm joking, of course. Yeah, you are to choose, of course. Yeah, thanks a lot. Let's get started and let's immediately proceed to what we will deal with today. Let me announce what is on agenda today. So today we will talk about different approaches to teaching grammar. Then I will introduce different templates or like different lesson plans for you to choose from and for you to adjust them to different levels and age groups of your learners. And we will also practically apply some of these approaches so that you could see how they work. Right now, I will ask you to work with this questionnaire. Yeah, so you will do some questionnaire. I will drop it here in the chat or share it in our chat. So try to open it, check if it works, if it's active, and let me know.
Yes, it is.
Okay. It
Active.
contains, thank you for responding. It contains only 2 questions, not a lot, yeah? So only 2. The first one being, what areas of English grammar do learners find difficult? And the second one is, who in your opinion has more problems learning grammar, adults or teenagers? In case if you have, so how are you going to respond to that? If you are teachers with some years of experience or months of experience, yeah, respond analyzing the behavior of your students. In case if you lack any experience, yeah, respond to these questions recollecting the way you felt about learning these grammar phenomena. Okay. I will give you some time to consider.
Can we choose several options or just one?
Yeah, here you can choose like as many as you wish. But so in the second one, you have to choose only one option.
Yeah, I get it. Thanks.
Thank you for asking. Yeah, that's great when you keep on asking questions. It just shows that you are interested in what we are doing.
Hello, Olena. May you reshare this questionnaire, please, in the chat box?
Yeah, definitely. Because
Okay.
you've just
Yeah,
joined.
I can't see it. Yeah, yes.
Just a moment, just a moment. I will definitely do that.
Thank you.
Can you see it now?
Yes, thank you so much.
Perfect. Yeah. We have 4 responses, and there are currently 8 of us, so I do not include myself. That's why there should be 5. 3 more people. Keep on working. We will wait for a minute more, and we'll start analyzing that stuff. Let us start analyzing their responses. Yeah, their responses. Так. Oh, just a moment. I'd like to share it in the form of the apple pie diagrams, but currently I do not see such an option.
Maybe check boxes там у вас было, and you should change it.
No, I'm not so. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just
Probably you can just switch to summary. Yeah, right now you're to questions. The first one option, can you see it?
summary. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah, thanks for helping me. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, when we start analyzing, like your responses, so actually there are only 7 people involved in the process, we'll see that,
Mhm.
all 7 consider conditionals to be the most difficult topic ever. Then 5 out of 7, like it's like almost 72%, think that phrasal verbs, appear to be a problem. Then 4 consider articles, prepositions, subject verb agreement, and gerunds and in infinitives, like be the areas that our students struggle with. Still, all of them were mentioned. All of them were mentioned. Even the word order can be viewed as a problem for certain learners. And there is no area that was not ticked off by you. That's why it just means that for different learners, different areas may consider it to be the problem. Still, I wonder that all of you, 7 out of 7, 100%, have chosen conditionals. Let us now comment on this. And could you please share your experience in teaching conditionals? Why do you consider it to be one of the most problem areas?
Because they always mix, because they will never remember that after if we don't use will, they mix second, first, second and the third conditional, or mixed conditionals. They never get it right. Never. And regarding even if it is a teenager or adult, they always mix.
Regardless of what age group we are
Regardless.
talking.
Thanks.
They actually have, all of them actually have problems with that. Okay, so we see 2 people willing to talk. So the first one will be Victoria, since she was the first in raising her hand, and then we will give the floor to Olena. So Victoria, you are welcome.
Yeah, I wanted to add something to conditionals. Why is it really difficult for students? As I noticed, it's really difficult for them to understand where is the result, where is condition, and why is this like that in this case, why it is another way in another case. And it's really difficult for them to make it right and make it quickly. So the students always ask us, I think, that like, why do they do like that? Why do they say like that? Why don't they say right way like we do? Yeah, something like that.
The problem with language interference, because most often our learners start thinking in English or in German or any other foreign language, so the way they think in Ukrainian, and so they tend to stick to the same word order. They tend to omit using articles, and when it comes to conditionals, they think that so it's as easy as it's in Ukrainian. You can just change the position of the words in the sentence the way you wish, and nothing will change, or it will not influence anything. Okay, Olena?
I've noticed that conditionals are a challenging topic for many students, even be it higher level, those who have a wide vocabulary range. But I've noticed a nice exception with one of my B1 students, who is actually a grammar geek. So if drawing some link with the native language, sometimes it does work. And the more we elicit from the student, as it was in his case, I didn't present mixed conditionals at B1 level. I didn't, like, the topic was third conditional, but he came up with something. He tried to say it. And once I kind of clarified how to play with it, this stress level, this effective filter was lowered, and he kind of started playing and enjoying the lessons, but he can't speak English.
If talking about me, yeah, so referring to me as a learner, not as a teacher, I will confess to conditionals being one of the topics I admire. I don't know why, but I always loved it and I still love it and I do love to teach it. But so as you've truly admitted, a lot of students, if not all, do have problems with that because they don't know where the result, where the condition is, whether it's possible, for example, so just to change the parts and in case if stands not in the very first part of the sentence, but in the second one. So what transformations like this sentence may have and so on and so forth. And when it comes to mixed conditionals, oh my God, yeah, so that's a constant mixture, that's a constant confusion, they even those who seemingly did understand how everything worked start getting confused, yeah, so without being in the know how to combine these parts of the sentences, where should this part with second conditional or the part with the third conditional so be present. Okay, any other comments from you? So somebody has written in the chat. Have you heard Trump-Harris debate? Being a native, Trump, okay, sorry. Trump did not follow the rules. I don't know how he speaks, so I just stopped hearing to whatever he say because it's impossible, like to manage everything. Still, like when it comes to Melania Trump, oh my God, that makes me laugh a lot at her pronunciation and it's just at the way she not only pronounces the words, but at the way she kind of makes her sentences, even in spite of the fact that she keeps on reading certain things from the pre-prepared just sheets of paper. Okay. Then, who in your opinion has more problems learning grammar, adults or teenagers, by the way? Out of these 7 responses, 6 of you think that these are adults. Yeah, these are adults who have more problems. Why does it happen this way? So adults should be more confident, but so what truly happens in our lessons of English when it comes to adults?
Can I
Ina?
start
Yeah, you
again?
work with
Yes.
adults as far as I remember. Yeah.
I work with everyone, but not children. Okay, it's another story for another time. Adults, I can say why, because they always analyze, they always think why it is like that. And their main problem is that they compare their grammar with our grammar. And I always tell them, please separate our languages. Sometimes they don't, they are not similar, yeah? And we can't compare them or like it's the same thing. So they always analyze and they always ask why is it like that, like for example, мені потрібно, да?
I need.
In English, yes, I need, and they always it needs me needs it, something like that. You see, so they always mix it and they try to understand why.
By the way, these are not only Ukrainian learners who make these mistakes, because it's in the nature of American or like English kids who are aged, for example, who are aged like 3 or 4 or 5 to make mistakes of this kind. They say, that's what they say, me like it. Me like it, and they consider it to be a correct sentence. Only later on, when being corrected by the adults or by their parents, they do understand that they need to say it, I like it, and they kind of acquire the language by hearing it everywhere and copying what adults say. Okay, thank you. Then, when it comes to adults, yeah, so as like Ina and Olena truly mentioned, yeah, the greatest problem comes because adults are embarrassed or ashamed of making mistakes. Yeah, it's in our nature to seem to be silly or stupid in front of the rest of the people. And that's the reason that sometimes we are afraid even of opening our mouth in order not to make a mistake, in order not to look stupid stupid in the eyes of some people. So, or in the eyes of the teacher, yeah. But like we should tell them that mistakes are a natural thing, and they are the part of our progress. Okay, so as far as you understood, yeah, so like we can confront with or face a number of difficulties while dealing with English in general, and namely while dealing with its grammar. Now, I'd like you to react to my statements. There will be 6 of them, yeah? So, like, react by showing your thumbs up or down. If it's a fact, show them up. If it's like a myth, put them down. The shortest sentence in English is a command. The shortest sentence in English is a command. So myth, thinks Olena. Then I do not see all the Natalia thinks that, so it's a myth. Yeah, it's a myth. Okay, so ladies, Natalia, could you please comment? Why do you
I forgot the term in English, вигуки, something like this one. Maybe it is the shortest one.
Exclamations, yeah.
Exclamations, yes, maybe yes, I forgot about this one.
Okay.
Because yes, command can be like a verb, yeah, like a verb, just only two letters, 3 letters, 4 letters, something like this one. But the shortest sentence maybe a sentence, but it's a myth, I think.
Olena, what do you think in this respect?
Okay.
Oh, we don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I was to say that it's not only command. Command can be the shortest sentence. It is a sentence by itself because, like, a sentence should contain a subject and predicate, and the predicate is present and subject is implied. But it can also be words like yes or no or anything. They can be a sentence by itself, right?
Like a noun, yes.
What if I suggest giving you such a sentence as do?
Yeah.
Do. How does it sound? So it's a verb, it's a command, because when we are talking about the function of the sentence, yeah, so the sentence is aimed at ordering or forcing us, making us doing something, yeah, it's a command. So how many letters so does this verb consist of?
2.
Just 2. Isn't it short? It is. So Natalia was talking about exclamations, but even the shortest exclamation, like oh,
yeah, 2 letters as well.
So contains 2 letters. That's why, like, the shortest sentence can be a command. You see now, so that it
can be, yeah.
My point was, it's not the only kind of
it's
sentence.
not the only, yeah, it's not the only one, but still, like one of the sentences, yeah, so can be like can be a command that consists only of one verb that shows like what we are ordered to do. Then English has a silent letter problem. Fact or myth? Has a silent letter problem. Yeah. So I see that all of you are showing your thumbs up, definitely. And that is the reason for a foundation for a number of anecdotes about English when people say that so a lot of things in English are spelled like Manchester but pronounced like Liverpool or vice versa. Yeah, it just shows that so sometimes the way we see the word and pronounce it differs a lot. For example, in case with daughter, yeah, we have so many letters, but just half of them are pronounced, with AU being pronounced like O, and cluster with cluster consisting of GHT, so being pronounced like T. Yeah, ER is pronounced like A. That's why daughter instead of Daugter. Yeah, they do have this silent letter problem, and we have a number of words of the kind. Then, oh, my favorite, yeah. So, like, by the way, once one of my students in my private classes asked me, Olena Yurievna, does such a word truly exist? Okay, who can pronounce it? Who will try to do that? No one. By the way, so if you happen to be somewhere on Instagram and if you follow these famous bloggers, yeah, teaching English, oh, they adore this word. It's pronounced like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. They say that this word was first used in one of Mary Poppins films. Mary Poppins was known for like creating some unusual words. Nowadays, it's viewed as one of, I cannot say that it's the longest word ever, yeah, because there are a lot more of them, but it's one of the longest words, and it belongs to the category of funny words in English. That is a made up word. It did not exist. It was like created, yeah, created. It's like neologism that means something fantastic. That's why do not say that something is fantastic. Say that it's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And the people will hardly understand what you are talking about. Yeah, still, such a word exists. Then, the most commonly used letter in English is E. True or false? Yeah, so it does exist. Yeah, so like such problem actually does exist because we have a number of letters E, even if they are dumb, like mentioned at the end of the word and not pronounced, so they are still where they are. English has no future tense. Fact or myth?
Has no future tense.
Has no future tense. Natalia was that sure that it's a myth, then she started scratching her head, and so she's trying to consider whether it's a myth or a fact. Yeah. So English has no future tense. Once again, I'm asking you. Okay, at last. Okay, Inna thinks that it's a myth. Natalia, myth. Olena.
Stop thinking. We have never thought before.
Still mulling over it, pondering. Yeah. What about the rest? Alina, Natalia, then Oля, Margarita.
I'm writing in the chat box.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't.
This is a myth because the English has future tense. Future simple, for example, this is number one.
Yeah, future continuous, yeah, future perfect.
I think it's
Okay.
How do I think that English has future tense, but I think there is a little trick in this sentence. I don't know.
I
There
guess
is
it
definitely,
depends.
yeah, there is
Sorry,
definitely the trick in the sentence. Yeah. So like, can you explain? Who can explain what is the trick?
I guess that is depends like what author we actually look for. So some of them consider will and would just like modern verbs and nothing more than. But if we kind of look at the different approach, it might be considered as like future tenses. So there are like few theories regarding this. So I guess that it's a myth because like when we talk about language as a system, so all of the languages have got like present, past, and future tense. But if we talk about that's like grammatically, so will it just might be considered as just a model verb because we does not change like the word itself. We does not like give I don't know, the ending, like for example, we do for past simple or something. So that's why it like might be considered as like a model verb. So again, it just like depends what author we are strict to.
Yeah, thank you, Oля. So, like the most detailed explanation ever. So, and Victoria mentioned that there should be some sort of the trick in this sentence. So there is one. So, and Oля has already responded to it. I will kind of like comment on this statement. So, it's truly a myth. Why? In spite of the fact that we know that in English there exist past and tense and future forms. In fact, will is not a future form. Will is nothing but a modal verb. It's a modal verb. So if you recollect, for example, when we are talking about such sentences like, for example, my pen won't write. Won't write. When, for example, like you have problems with the ink or you ran out of the ink in it, you say it won't write, or the engine of the car won't start. So it's a modal verb. So here it does not show any future tense at all. Besides, like this future meaning can be easily presented with the help of present continuous forms. Yeah, when, for example, the form of the present tense is used for future meaning. or is going to a special structure, yeah, that is used to refer to some future meaning, as well as a modal verb will that is used to refer to future meaning. But in fact, so it has nothing to do with future tense as it is. And
Then I have got a question.
Okay, Natalia.
Can I? I guess. I'm sorry just for interrupting you. Yes, I just fully agree with you that there are a lot of phrases which can convey the meaning of the future action, and we usually use them instead of just maybe some of the phrases. But when we explain the usage of the future of the future tense, we used to use the verb. It is formed by the auxiliary verb will and shall. It is something that is written in the books.
Yeah, that's what is stated in the books. Because, for example, for your learners, if you start explaining that the future meaning is presented with the help of the modal verb, oh my God, they will say.
But also, when we learn the topic, and then they explain the information about the modality, the modal verbs also use that will can be like a modal verb too. It's okay. But when we explain the usage of information of the future tense, we used to pronounce so that it is built by the auxiliary verb will and shall. What is? Is it a problem? Is it a mistake?
No, actually, so it's just kind of like simplified. We simplify these rules for them to be understood by our learners. Because if you just say that the future tense does not exist, they will stop making these sentences altogether. That's why we teach them that English has this future tense, or kind of not even the future tense, but it's just the sentences referring to the future. That will be the correct way of framing that into the words. Yeah, it does have the statements, or it does have the structures with the help of which we convey this future meaning.
Especially when we speak about the modal verb can, we also mentioned that can is a present one, could is a past one, but can has no future tense. Instead, we can use the phrase be able to do something.
Yeah, we were taught this way, says Olena. Yeah, we were taught, all of us were taught this way. Now, according to these modern grammars and grammarians who analyzed this, so they've come up with a conclusion, they've come up to a conclusion that so there is no future tense, and we just use certain structures or modal verbs to convey future meaning, but it's not about future tense. And sentences can end with prepositions. Somebody has written it in the chat that so it's correct. It's a fact. Yeah. For example, what are you waiting for? Yeah. Or for example, what am I to talk about? Yeah. What am I to talk about? What am I to start with, for example? Yeah. Usually like English sentences end with prepositions. Though in Ukrainian, if you compare, the preposition usually comes before the verb. Про що я маю вам розказати? Да? Там, з чим ви не погоджуєтеся? Though in English we would have what do you disagree on? Yeah, or what do you disagree with? Okay, yeah, so like that was, I believe, interesting. Yeah, so just as far as you understood, that was kind of funny test because all the sentences, all 6 were contained some factual information or conveyed some factual information rather than being myths. Okay, now that's gradually the time for us, so that's finally the time for us to proceed to talking about like how grammar should be taught. So when it comes to grammar and when it comes to like teaching all the other like skills, systems or aspects, I cannot but mention that you should always keep in mind this scheme that systems usually incorporate grammar, vocabulary, functions, and like phonetics, okay, kind of like all the phonetic features. When it comes to skills, they incorporate receptive skills as well as productive skills, with receptive skills embracing reading and listening, and productive skills consisting of speaking and writing. So that's how it works. And the lesson framework, like lesson frameworks or like templates that you will apply in the classroom for teaching these different skills or systems may have some like coincidences, but they will be still different, yeah, because one and the same template will not work for both skills and systems, and that's what you should always keep in mind. When it comes to teaching grammar, namely, we will talk today about one of those language systems known as grammar. The following approaches are used while teaching grammar. These are implicit and explicit, and inductive and deductive. So you see that explicit approach incorporates inductive and deductive approaches within itself. Still, like when it comes to explicit and implicit teaching grammar, what's the difference? How do you understand what each of these phenomena means?
Explicit when you try to teach rules, you are telling your students how to make the sentence in a past tense, in a present simple, or past continuous, or all these tenses or conditionals. You just show them how it is, like you have two parts, and one will be in present simple and another in the future. When implicit, when you try to do it
Indirectly, yeah.
indirectly, yeah, when you're showing it in a text, maybe, or some exercises that are not connected with the grammar specifically, but they're include this.
So explicit, it's about doing something directly, using the rules. Implicit is about doing something indirectly when our learners perceive some grammar phenomena through the context. For example, like if you happen to watch some TV series for a long period of time, and you will come across certain phrases or structures that either a reporter or the guests in the studio are using, yeah, like you will kind of happen to understand what this phenomenon means because it's being used in the context of this sentence, and without even being provided with a certain rule, you will start understanding and you will remember it and you will keep on using it in your own speech. Yeah. So it's like when you grasp the idea and kind of get something from that communication, or like while reading something or listening to something when the rules are not presented to you. That's why here we do not have direct grammar explanation, while in case with explicit approach the rules are presented. Yeah, the rules are set, are given to us. Besides, explicit approach is further subdivided into inductive and deductive one. I believe that all of you, if not read, then at least heard about Arthur Conan Doyle, who invented such a character as Sir Sherlock Holmes. All of you have heard about him. What approach did he rely on? Inductive or deductive?
Deductive.
Deductive. What does it mean? What does it mean? He heard certain background knowledge, yeah, in medicine, in maths, in history. He relied on that knowledge, yeah, so he knew these logical connections between things, and he inferred like conclusions based on what he knew. He came to some specific conclusions based on some background knowledge he had. The same is with the grammar, explaining grammar. So to say, in case with deductive approach, we teachers start explaining the rules first. Yeah, we say, okay, comparatives are used when we want to compare like two things. So usually we add the suffix "er" to the adjective in case if it's monosyllabic or two-syllabic ending with y. In case if it contains like more than two syllables, then we add more in front of it. We explain the rule, like here. Yeah, like here, we started with the explanation of the rules. And then we started giving some examples of how it works in the particular sentences. And after it, we suggest dealing with some exercises, like in which the students are asked to open the brackets, fill something in, complete the sentences using the forms, because they already have the rule in front of them. When it comes to inductive approach, here we present the structure in the context of certain text or audio script. For example, here, read and listen to the conversation. Has anything been mentioned about the rules here? Here, like in this textbook? Nothing. Instead, we just have these forms of adjectives, yeah, comparative, so like that are used like for comparison. In these forms with er suffixes, with word more in front of like of the multisyllabic adjective, or with the forms like better, yeah, when the adjective good changes its root completely to the form of better. So the students are exposed to seeing these phenomena, with them being provided in bold in the sentences. The teacher does not show these rules to them. They start analyzing and come to the conclusions, yeah? From specific examples, they come to like creating certain rules. And only after it, they start analyzing those rules, and then they practice everything with the help of the exercises. So to say, so like what is different in this inductive and deductive approach? So in case if it's deductive approach, we explain, start with the rules, then give examples, and then give some more sentences for drilling and for practice. In case with inductive approach, we present a structure so that the students or the learners could see them in the context, yes, all this phenomenon in the context. Only after it, we like come to the conclusions, and in case if it like makes some difficulty, we start explaining the rules, and only after it, we start practicing. So to say, the third stage coincides, but the first two are different in inductive and deductive approaches. Okay. We will now do a short test. You will work individually. Now I will ask you to provide me with some answers in the chat. You will be given up to 3 minutes. And so get acquainted with the information here. Yeah, get acquainted with the information here. What do you need to do? Like analyze these sentences and decide which of the statements fit deductive learning, which of them fit inductive. In order to save time, I will ask you to provide me in the chat just with those numbers of the sentences that correspond to deductive learning. For example, 2D, 3D, like this. Out of 14 sentences, how many should fit deductive learning? From rule to specific example. I'll leave some comments in the chat. Так, explicit is similar to lecturing, implicit is more like self-discovery, teacher assisted. Yeah, right, you are, Helen. Yeah, thank you. So the first answers start appearing. So 1, let us analyze it. The teacher provides an explanation of the grammar rule before students practice. Right, you are. 1 is correct. Then 5, the teacher explicitly presents grammar rule to the students. Right, you are. 7, the teacher presents clear grammatical rules of formulas. Yeah. Then 10, the teacher explains pronunciation rules again. Yeah, so that's true. And then like 13, says Oля, 13, it's a quicker approach to teaching grammar. Yeah, so it's not that time consuming, because for like your students to self-discover something, yeah, so it can require a lot of time. It's much easier just to explain the rule and then move further to some other stages. And 14, it reinforces the teacher's role as the authority or expert. Yeah, when it's the teacher, only the teacher in the classroom who knows the rule, he remains the expert. Yeah, right, you are. That's why Oля Slobodyan, yeah. So like you presented like all these answers that are correct. There is nothing for me to add. Natalia, there were some mistakes I've already explained. Yeah, so like what is how it works and what answers are correct ones. 1, 5, 7, 10, 11, by the way, demonstrates correct pronunciation and asks students to identify the stress or intonation. Actually, here, like he demonstrates and asks to identify. No. This one then incorrect. Sorry. Oля, you still have one mistake. Yeah, you've made one mistake, because he demonstrates the pronunciation and asks them to identify the pronunciation, the stress. So actually, he does not provide them with this information. They are still there is still something left to discover for them. That's why so 11 is not included. Only 1, 5, 7, 10, 13, and 14. Yeah. Okay, Oля Bogaevska. Now you know, like why certain sentences are incorrect. Once again, 1, then 5, 7, 10, 13, and 14. Thanks a lot. And so, like, let us sum it up. When it comes to deductive method, it's much quicker and easier. And when it comes, for example, to some complex grammar phenomena, it works better. And it's preferred especially by older learners, like, for example, me, or even those who are older than me. So that's not about aging, but that's the way we were taught at schools. And we got used, to us being explained everything. Then, when it comes to inductive method, it works perfectly well at the level of primary school, because at primary school we usually deal with some less complex phenomena, yeah, so much simpler phenomena. That's why it would be best for those phenomena which are easily perceived, understood, and applied. But it requires the students to identify the rule for themselves. That can take some time and can be time consuming. And this inductive method can be suitable for any age group. Still, while doing a CELTA course, so what I was asked about, not only to kind of come up with a lesson plan, that wasn't enough for my for my trainers. They asked all of us To present, first of all, lesson template with a procedure of the lesson, with perfect timing, with possible problems and their solutions or just ways out of the situation. And besides that, yeah, on top of that, kind of cherry on the cake, there was this sheet of paper with meaning, form, and pronunciation. So to say, in case if a certain grammar phenomenon was learned, I, as a teacher, was to provide my students with like everything ranging from the meaning of this phrase of this construction we were dealing with to the form, so to say, what the components of these structures were, and even the pronunciation. And this aspect of pronunciation is often overlooked. Believe me, before dealing with CELTA or before taking this course, I myself belonged to that category of teachers who thought that why should we care about the pronunciation of grammar phenomena? Believe me, it does matter. That's why right now I'd like to ask some of you, it can be anyone, to pronounce like this sentence properly, all the words in it properly. Mind, please, the stress. Yeah, mind the pronunciation of the words. Mind the pauses. Who'd like to do that?
Maybe I can try.
Okay, Natalia, try, please.
I visited a number of countries last year.
So, what words should be stressed? I visited a number of countries. And one more word that is stressed?
I stressed the word countries.
Countries. I visited a number of
countries last year.
Of countries. So last year is not
It's not stressed one. Yeah.
Stressed at all. Okay, still
possible to pronounce it in another way. I visited a number of countries last year.
I believe that last is more meaningful here, yeah? Because it was last year, not any year, not every year.
Yes.
So I visited a number of countries last year. Just
Yes.
let us pay attention to the way we pronounce these clusters, word clusters. I do not say I visited a number, because otherwise that would make you smile, yeah? What do? I link certain words that lack this stress, that are unstressed, I link them to the words that are stressed. And I say, I visited, as I pronounce it as one chunk, as one cluster. Then again, a number of. So this article as well as preposition so are linked to the word number, and that's why a number of. Then countries, yeah, should be pronounced as a separate word. And then last year. Again, so yeah, so we pronounce it as one chunk, yeah. That's how it should be pronounced. So if talking about the pronunciation, like in terms of whether it's low rising or low falling, should it be low rising or low falling?
Low rise.
Low rising. Intonation.
Oh, no, low fall. Sorry, low fall, because it's affirmative sentence.
Yeah, right, you are. In case if
yes,
it was the question, general question, it would be low rise. Yeah.
Yes,
I
low
visited a number of countries last year.
Yeah.
And we are falling. Yeah. Okay, so now we've clarified everything. So like in terms of pronunciation, when it comes to meaning, like what grammar phenomenon are we analyzing in this sentence?
Past simple.
Past simple, yeah. Then so our learners may ask us a question, yeah. So like when it's used. And instead of just giving the answer, yeah, like in black and white, we are to put these CCQ or concept checking questions instead. Remember that concept checking questions presuppose yes or no answers. What should I do? What questions may I ask?
What did you do?
Oh, actually, no.
Maybe when did you visit those countries?
Do they suppose giving yes/no answers? What?
Yes. Did you? Yeah. General question.
These are not general questions. We require them to be general. Okay, is the action present or if you give the alternative, how should they respond to this alternative? Yes. And is it yes answer to present or yes answer to the past? Yeah, do not turn them into alternative questions. It should be only a general question. For example, is the action happening right now? No. Yeah, no, because they understand that it's not something that's going. So then another question that can follow. Can I replace it with another sentence, for example, like I am visiting a number of countries last year? No. Does it mean that the action is finished?
No, maybe. Does it maybe?
Yes, because just in case if it were I was visiting, it would be incomplete. In case if it's visited, it means that the action finished. Yeah, the action finished. Okay, that's how it should look like. Yeah, your questions, that's how they should look like. And that's how this sheet of paper should look like. That's what your trainers will ask you about. So like, talk about pronunciation, yeah? Talk about the meaning, and in order to start talking about the meaning, you need to think about these possible CCQs. Is it happening now? No. Did it happen in the past? Yes. Can I change it to like this sentence or another one? No. And is this action finished? Yes. And that's how they will be in the know that, for example, visited, the form of visited will be different from the form of I was visiting, because I was in case with I was visiting, the action is incomplete. It was in the process. It was like in the progress, and we are not in the know whether it was finished, whether it finished, sorry. Then, when it comes to the form, mind that like that you should analyze all the parts of the sentence. We have here a subject, I, the verb visited, object, a number of countries, and adverbial, it happened last year. That's what you should tell your learners about the form. Only on condition that you provide your learners and your trainers who'll be checking your work with these lists, they will tell you that the work was done properly. Now it comes to like lesson templates. Yeah, to the structure of the lesson itself. And so when it comes to the structure, it can be of at least three types. The most typical one used by, I would say, all the teachers at schools nowadays, that's presentation, practice, production, or in short, PPP. It stands for this abbreviation. What does it presuppose? We have as usual, lead into the lesson, yeah, to generate some interest in the theme. Then we start presenting the target language. For example, will tell them, today we will talk about blah, blah, blah topic, and we will learn how to use the structure with past simple, yeah, so in the sentences. That's how usually they start presenting this grammar phenomenon. And we immediately proceed to clarification or providing our students with rules, meaning, pronunciation, the form, and so on. After this clarification has been done and has been provided, we proceed to dealing with certain exercises like doing a gap fill, sentence transformation, or any other practice through which the students kind of get some scaffolding on behalf of the teacher, and being controlled or guided by the teacher, they keep on dealing with the sentences. At this stage, every teacher will be interested in accuracy, because it's like the very time when this phenomenon is drilled, yeah, and the structure is remembered by the student, and it's highly essential for it to be remembered properly. And after it comes the so-called freer practice. By the way, not all the books provide us with such terms. Usually, in most methodology books, we have presentation when it comes to presenting the rules, practice when it comes to this controlled practice, or production when it comes to some kind of creative stage. Yeah, creative stage. But more and more methodologies nowadays call this last stage in teaching grammar as freer practice. Not creative stage, not the productive stage, but freer practice. That's one of the lesson frameworks that you can apply. Yeah, that's how the procedure of your lesson in teaching grammar can look like, the most traditional one. Still, there is another one, TTT, or test, teach, test. Believe me, I've got to know about it only on doing my CELTA course. Never before have I heard about it. Okay, I'll do it like this. So, again, we will have some lead in, yeah, or warming up for the start of the lesson to generate interest in the theme. Then we will have some kind of test. Here comes your logical question. I can anticipate it. You will ask me, how can they start dealing with the text in case if no rules have been provided yet? That's what this test, teach, test approach or framework is about. Of course, the teacher will never give a task or never set a task using this test, teach, test framework when the students are not familiar with the topic at all. It's possible to apply this kind of framework just in case when we deal with some topic that the students have some preliminary knowledge about. For example, in primary school, they got to know about such tense forms as present simple, present continuous, or past simple. But what did they get to know? Just the simplest rules. That, for example, present continuous is used only for talking about present moment or what is going on now. And for example, you can give them some kind of exercise in which this present continuous will be used, but in another meaning or in another function, to refer to some future meaning, like I'm visiting my parents tomorrow. So give them that exercise that would combine some sentences so they are well aware of, yeah, they familiarize themselves with, as well as something that will be totally new to them. And check by providing this feedback of yours. Yes, just allot some time. Say, okay, you are given, let it be 10 minutes. Work in groups, because usually test, teach, test framework is suggested in case if we split our students into groups. They are to deal with gap filling or definition, categorizing, all sorts of exercises. Then you kind of ask them to either exchange these sheets, or you ask them to hand in all these sheets of paper and you start providing them with the feedback. Or you can simply show everything on this whiteboard, asking them, okay, Oля, so what do you have here? Petya, what do you have in this sentence? Yeah. And that's how children understand what they did properly and what they were mistaken at. Then you give another access, and just at the stage of this feedback, you analyze everything, and that's where you provide them with some clarification that, for example, present continuous may not necessarily be used just for present moment actions, but also it can be used when we convey some future meaning. That's it. And now they are in the know. You've added something. Then again, you give some controlled practice or set another task and now another test. And now when they are well aware of all these rules, they will definitely deal with that. Then freer practice. So the last stage, that is a creative one where they produce something on their own. And so text-based presentation. Yeah, text-based presentation. So here, what is different? So that's another framework, the third one. Yeah, there are 3 of them. The third one. Again, you have kind of lead in or warming up. You may arrange some pre-text discussion because you are going to present a new grammar phenomenon through some text for reading or audio for listening. So you can even pre-teach some vocabulary before you start dealing with the text itself. Then you let the students read the text or listen to it. You may do it even twice if necessary, if it's a difficult text. And then you proceed to focusing on the language. But how is it done and how different is this approach from, for example, PPP approach? The difference lies in the fact that here you will analyze the language through the context of this whole text, or this whole audio you've been listening to. Then comes controlled practice and freer practice, as in case with these other lesson frameworks. That's why, so the end of the lesson seems to be similar, but the way the new grammar phenomenon is introduced is different. Okay. Right now, no, not yet. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, I planned to assign you into breakouts, but I believe that we will lack some time. So then, instead, now when you've listened to my explanation, could you please think about the answers to the following questions? Which of these frameworks, so to say, PPP, so presentation, then practice production, or test, teach, test, or perhaps text-based approach would be most memorable? What do you think? Which of them would be most memorable? Okay, somebody is texting.
I think
Text-based, yeah, because you will see how the language systems or some grammar phenomena work in the context, right? Which of them suggests better student engagement? In which of these frameworks, in which of these lessons, students will be more involved in what they are doing?
It's second one.
So TTT approach, TTT approach, right? You are Olena and Margarita, because in test, teach, test approach, we usually assign them, assign them in some groups. Which of these approaches offers more effective freer practice? Oля, you may go. Thank you for for mentioning, so that you will have to leave us. Still, you will skip this practical part that I'm going to present right now. Okay, which of these frameworks offers more effective freer practice? More effective. Where will it be more effective? Somebody
Maybe the first PPP, no?
Somebody says the third, text-based. Natalia suggests that it should be number one. Freer practice will be more effective. So I would agree with the third one. Olena says that it depends. So because text-based approach takes more time, but as it enables you to see all the grammar phenomena in the context, it will be more more meaningful, more effective, because they will come to their own conclusions. Which of them is student-centered?
TTT.
TTT and kind of text-based as well. Text-based, two of these three. Which of them provides most comprehensive language clarification?
PPP, probably.
Definitely the first one, when the teacher explicitly presents all the rules. Which is the most authentic one? Sounds as if you were in this natural environment. Text-based, right? You are. And which is the least time-consuming? The least time-consuming.
First one.
The first one, because you immediately present all the necessary rules. Right, you are. So thank you for dealing with that. And now we will gradually move to some practical, practical assignment. I'd like to, so as I'm well aware that you know how PPP approach works, so two more remain. And so now I'd like to dwell, because I've already told you how test, teach, test works, yeah? Now I'd like to dwell more upon text-based approach so that you could see how it works and how to do that effectively. So look at the picture and tell me, where is this? What is the country? What is the country, first of all? Let us guess the country. Margarita is trying to recognize some, yeah, some like number plate on the car. Yeah. So
Yes,
in order to
yes, that's what
recognize
I'm
which
doing.
country it is. No, that
But I can.
because it was generated
Not
by AI.
Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
Not
So,
Ukraine.
not
It's
Ukraine.
not Ukraine.
Yeah, it's not Ukraine, because people do not throw the things right in the on the pavement. They usually put everything they want to throw, yeah. So in the into the litter bins or garbage bins outside Ukraine. Natalia, you absolutely okay. So right, yeah. So it's outside Ukraine. So what is the country? So any predictions?
I would say Poland.
Poland, actually, so it's quite close because it's one of our neighbors with Viktor Orban. Yeah, it's Hungary. So it's Hungary. Yeah, so one more neighbor of ours. What's happening in the picture, by the way? What's happening in the picture? What is the man doing?
He's looking
Collecting
for
some stuff.
something maybe, or he's trying to find something for himself.
Yeah, like where is he rummaging about? Where is he looking for what he needs? Where is it?
In a bunch of trash.
Definitely. So it's some waste. Yeah, it's some waste. So, and he's like looking for some discarded items that some people, oh, sorry, that some people kind of like threw away or just took away, but these discarded items were not put into the garbage bins. That's why it just means, means that perhaps they understand that there will be some people for whom these discarded items will be necessary, like for these elderly men. The man is searching for something in the garbage or trying to find some treasure in the trash. Yeah, perhaps so some item that is not needed by one of us, so will be a treasure for the other one. And why is this a special day? In Hungary, it's a special day. Like, what is the season when they have this special day? Any predictions? It's in spring. So usually in Ukraine, we have, or we do this spring cleaning, yeah? Before Easter, we start washing everything, cleaning, yeah? So like dusting, polishing, and that's what Hungarian people do. By the way, they have, like, this day is known as a special holiday. Yeah, special holiday that bears this unique name, Lomtalanitas. It's in Hungarian, Lomtalanitas. It's the day when Hungarian people get rid of the items they no longer need. In Italy, by the way, people do something of the kind, but so on New Year's Eve, they usually throw out all the items they no longer need out of the window. Yeah. In Hungary, they do not throw anything out of the windows, as well as so neither do they put anything in these garbage bins. They just leave what they do not need on the pavement in front of their houses, so that all the people who are well aware of like this holiday to come could approach your house or any other person's house and find some treasure, something, for example, they consider to be necessary for themselves. It's a real holiday for homeless people who can definitely pick up or find and pick up whatever they need. Now we are going to read the text, the lomtalanitas confusion. Before we do that, I'd like to clarify if you understand the meaning of those words that I marked in green ink, like tenant, scavengers, frantic. Lomtalanitas has already been explained by me. Okay, tenant. Who's this? Tenant. Are you in the know of it? Okay, I will ask you some CCQ questions. So is it a person who has their own dwelling?
Yes.
Actually, they rent the house
No,
or
no,
flat.
yeah.
This is a tenant. And landlords, this is who just do on the contrary.
Owning the house.
Offers, да? A landlord, if it's a man, or landlady, if it's a woman. It's just the person who offers some apartment for rent, who lets something. And the tenant is a person who pays money for staying in your apartment for some period of time. То есть орендодавець и орендар. That's how they are differentiated. So, and tenant, with tenant being the one who pays money for staying in certain flat, room, house, whatever. Scavengers. Scavengers. Are they people? Are they people?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
because
someone who is looking something out of street.
yeah, because scavenger can be referred also to the animals that feed on the dead, on some other dead animals. Стервятники, да? Here, scavenger, yeah, so refers to people in the context of our sentence, and it means someone who looks for something, who starts rummaging about some trash or some garbage in order to find something they need. Frantic, frantic.
Be in a panic.
It means that you are in a hurry, yeah, and you are worried. You are worried, and because of you being concerned or worrying about something, you start doing something hysterically, kind of, yeah, or frantically. Okay, now I will assign 3 minutes to you. Sorry, I will allot 3 minutes to you so that you could get acquainted with this text and so that you could come up with an answer to the question, did Mark do the right thing? Mark, it's one of the main characters. Did Mark do the right thing? Okay, start reading. Are you done with reading now? Yeah.
I want to ask you about, I'd like to ask about the question.
Mhm.
You mean Mark did the right thing by running after the chest of drawers or by throwing it away, throwing it
Okay.
out.
Okay,
What's the
so like
question
he said,
about?
I wish I hadn't done that. What does it refer to? What does it refer to?
It refers to that he wished he hadn't thrown the chest out.
Yeah, so you've answered that question. Yeah.
He
So did
regrets.
he do
He
the
regrets.
so he regrets doing that. Yeah, he regrets doing that. Thanks a lot. Yeah. And now that's how we are gradually moving to the question or just to such a grammar phenomenon as the structure that is used for presenting regrets of different kind. Now let me show this handout to you. Yeah, this handout to you. Just a moment. Okay, so let us now deal with this structure. I wish I'd. Yeah, because like there were two times when we came across it. I wish I hadn't done. I wish I had checked. We are to deal with the meaning of this structure. In order to come up with that, let us answer the following questions. Did Mark throw the war chest? Did Mark throw?
Yes.
Yes. Was it a good idea?
No.
Does he regret doing it?
Yes.
And did Mark want to take the chest out to the street?
No.
No. So by simply asking these CCQ questions, yeah, so with your yes or no answers, now we've come, yeah, to the understanding of like what was actually done. Then the next phrase, one more phrase, I wish I had checked the address. Did the man, because it's just the sentence that belongs to this old man who was frantic about everything, quite angry with this war chest being thrown away. Did the man check the address?
No.
Was it a mistake?
Yes.
Was he happy about it?
No.
Does the old man wish to change something?
Yes.
Can he do it?
No.
No. Then what is the meaning of the phrase with I wish I'd? What is the meaning? So
I would regret doing something.
that cannot be changed, unfortunately.
Change. Yeah.
Cannot be
We
changed.
cannot undo it.
Yeah, we can.
Past actions.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a past action. Yeah, it's a regret concerning past action. So like a regret about something that unfortunately cannot be changed. Then, for example, after you've like provided them with such sort of analysis, what else can be added here? You may ask them. Okay, so choose the correct alternative. The action happened in the past, present, future. What is correct?
Past.
In the past. And we would or wouldn't like it to be different.
Would.
We would like it to be different, though we can't change it. Wish in the sentences above is followed by present perfect, past continuous, past simple.
Past
Past
perfect.
perfect.
Okay, so now you are in the know that the structure with I wish, I'd not, or I'd is used to talk about some past events that cannot be changed or cannot be undone, yeah, in spite even of our wish it to be different. Grammatically, so wish is followed by past perfect. That's how your students will come up with that conclusion. You are not just giving these rules explicitly. You are asking them to self-discover everything, yeah, to start analyzing it together with you. When it comes to the form, let's once again have a look at this structure. Such sentences start or begin with a subject. It can be I or she or he, whatever. It's followed by wish or wishes because she wishes, I wish. Then comes the subject of the second part of the sentence that is followed by what? It's presented in slash.
Had.
Had or
would.
hadn't. Had or had. We're not talking about would. Would, like that's the topic for another lesson, yeah? So had or hadn't plus what?
Past participle.
Verb.
Past participle or verb with ed ending like here or the third column. Right you are. So that's what they are supposed to know about the form. Besides, you can also ask them, so in order to to be well aware that they are in the know how it works, you may ask them to tick the correct option. I wish I had consented to helping her then. I wish I would consented to helping her then. I wish I consented to helping her then. What will be the correct option?
First one.
The first one, yeah. So that's what they will underline or highlight for themselves. And the final touch. Now, when we've talked about the meaning, what for we use this structure, how it's formed, we should be also in the know how it should be pronounced. Could you please, like any of you, like for example, Margarita, so pronounce the very first sentence.
I wish I hadn't done that.
I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I. Like it's so these three words are linked together. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I hadn't done. So wish I sound like is stressed, wish, and then hadn't done, and that are unstressed. The second sentence, for example, Olena or like Natalia, so like or any other person, so can act as a volunteer. Let's pronounce the second one.
I wish I checked the address.
Ina, thank you. I wish I'd even, yeah, so all three, like, yeah, are linked together. I wish I'd, so I wish I'd. And then checked is another stressed word. I wish I checked. I wish I checked. And then the address comes being unstressed again, yeah. Okay, так, then now let us proceed to some controlled practice. Yeah, so controlled practice. And here it is. Let us talk about these situations using the structures that we learned, that we worked with now. So let us express regrets. Speaking on behalf of these people you see in the picture. Here comes the man who says, I wish. Continue the sentence.
I hadn't worn my camera on my body.
Perhaps. Or I wish I hadn't laid in the sun for so long. Yeah? Okay, let us check somebody.
With the camera.
I wish I had put on sunscreen or sunscreen lotion. Thank you, Olena. Yeah, perfect. Then comes so another picture. Your daughter, for example, brings so the test like in which it's indicated that she failed in it, and she expresses regret concerning this situation. She wishes, for example, or she may say, "I wish," if she speaks for herself.
I wish I hadn't failed.
I wish I hadn't failed. Okay. What can be some other examples of the sentences with I wish here?
I wish my daughter had passed the
Okay.
test.
Or I wish, if, for example, if it's this girl who is talking, I wish I had worked better. Yeah. I wish I had prepared better. I wish I hadn't gone to school.
I love that word.
By the way, yeah, the best option ever. That's actually what the teenagers usually say. She's not a teenager, still, yeah, maybe she's like 10 or kind of aged 8. That's what my son keep on repeating. Because so he went to school today, so with a splitting headache, and during the very first class they were having a test in algebra, and so that's where this air raid alarm worked. So do you know what he texted me? So like he texted saying, "Mom, I told you, yeah, so that I'd better not go to school." Actually, in this situation, it could be, "I wish I hadn't gone to school." So thank you, Helen, for providing us with this example. This one. Okay. So I wish I have only not have, but had. It should be past perfect. I wish I had contributed more to preparing to the text. Yeah, so it still refers to the previous image. And now we are analyzing this one. What can be said here?
I wish I hadn't arrived late.
Yeah. I wish I hadn't missed my flight, for example. Yeah. I wish I had collected my things quicker, like anything can work. Then this one with a man cooking some turkey. Yeah.
I wish I hadn't started.
Yeah, that's what I was willing to say.
That's in the nature
And
of
let
all
my
the
wife
men.
do it.
Yeah.
Yes,
I wish I
that
hadn't
was my
done that.
next sentence.
Okay, or I wish I hadn't overcooked it. Or I wish. Okay, let us check. So somebody else is.
Uh,
I wish I had ordered pizza instead. Yeah, a lot more options. Yeah, and so all of them kind of like sound as real life situations because this can be our responses. And this last person, yeah, so this man, what can he say?
I wish I hadn't eaten too much.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't overeaten, hadn't eaten like too much or something of the kind. Yeah. So that was the controlled practice. So here you learners, I mean, are still guided by the teacher. Yeah. A teacher is supposed to provide some scaffolding at this stage. And the final stage deals with freer practice. Just on the spot, let us think about the sentences that would refer to one of the areas of life, like study, personal life, finance, career, or health issues that we regret. Yeah, that we have regrets about. Just use the structure with I wish I had or hadn't done something, talking about any of these areas. What do you regret? What do you have regrets about? Okay. Your own examples.
It may be example not about me, but about anyone else, my
Yeah,
friends, someone.
can be said about anyone else as well.
My friend wishes she hadn't entered the University of Management.
Okay, of management. So yeah. Then, for example, so I wish I hadn't married my ex-husband, for example. So yeah, quite topical. So about me. Then, what else can be said here, ladies? Join us. A few more sentences, and we will quit with that. Somebody is texting us. Helen, I wish I had learned about CELTA and had an opportunity to take the exam when I was in my 20s. Yeah, still, that's not the situation that cannot be changed. So, Helen, of course, maybe you are not in your 20s, so but just tell people that you are. So just 20 something. But still you can do it. Yeah, you can do CELTA and get this cherished certificate. And that's what I wish you to have. Because one more meaning of wish phrase is to, yeah, so just to wish something to happen. So yeah, so to just suggest it as a wish for somebody. Okay, thanks a lot. And like the final touch. For example, how would TTT approach be different from text-based? So what did you like more on having the class, on having like the lesson conducted in such a way? Yeah, so with text-based lesson framework being used. Did you like this one more? Or do you like, for example, TTT approach or kind of like PPP approach more? What will work better? What do you think will work better?
Text-based is more interesting because we are on our own to explore the grammar. So it would be interesting.
Definitely, yeah. Perhaps it will be more time consuming, especially when it comes to some lesson preparation that is done in advance. You see that, so you as a teacher will have to think it over, for example, what to give for each of these stages, yeah? Or for example, especially here when it comes to, just a moment, when it comes to this, so handout with I wish or like any other grammar structure, you need to like consider like what concept checking questions you will provide them with, how the form would look like. So yeah, so the pronunciation, so it requires definitely a lot of time investment. Still, it will definitely pay off because that's what your students will remember better. Now, with this, we will quit. And the final question from me would be, what will be your takeaway of this lesson? Yeah, what will be your takeaway, like of this session,
Everything.
yeah, so you liked it more, yeah, so like compared to
Yes.
the theoretical lessons or sessions we had, definitely. And that, so now you are in the know of like what you are to use, yeah, so while doing your CELTA course. In case if you happen to come across like the lesson on dealing with grammar, at least you'll be in the know how it works. Yeah, how it works. By the way, if you wish, I can like send these handouts in or leave them in our group chat. Usually,
Yeah, it will be
I leave
perfect.
them also like on the site. Yeah, so like I just place them on the site or post them on the site. But I can add them to our group chat for you not to like for you to have everything just in one group, and for you not to forget about that, and for you not to Google for something, not to look for where these folders are. I'm talking about the site. So that's what I'm going to do right after the class. So thank you. So especially
Thank you.
thanks to all those who are
you.
still with us in spite of us running out of time. Yeah. Thanks a lot. During the very next class of ours, we will deal with teaching vocabulary. Yeah, teaching vocabulary. One more language system. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so people keep on people keep on saying thank you, and it just means for me personally as a teacher that you liked it a lot and that you consider it to be useful. Yeah, perfect. Then have a blessed and peaceful evening, and hope to see you in a week. Yeah, hope that the number of people will not decrease but increase. And I suspect, so I anticipate that now when you got intrigued by what we were doing practically, so you will come back, and so you'll be quite excited about our work next week. Thank you. Bye for now.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.